All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. Glad to be with you this morning. Excuse me. And every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. It is Monday, July 22nd, 2024, a new week. Glad to have you. Posted the recap video of the week and the preview video of the week yesterday evening. So if you guys want to take a look at that so you don't miss any future videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel. It's free. Turn on notifications. That's free too. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That starts with you. So appreciate that. As always, thanks for being here. Dow futures are up 60 points. The Nasdaq's up 200 points. S&P up 0.59%, and the Russell's up 0.36% at 2210. 10-year Treasury yields are pulling back 4.214. I talked a little bit about that last night. Dollar index is down slightly, 104.35. So again, that's going to help some tech today. And the VIX down 2% at 1617. I also spoke about the VIX on our weekly video. Crude oil is down about 1% this morning. Gasoline futures are down 0.64%. 2,400, let's call it, on gold futures. That's slightly green. Silver futures are down 0.76% this morning. So we're starting to see commodities pull back a little bit, 1.5% on copper as well to the downside. Euro dollar 108.78, rather flat. Dollar yen 156.80, pulling back slightly. Aussie dollar is down 0.36%. That's down 0.54%. Pound dollar is flat. Bitcoin is up. Talked about that yesterday as well. 67,890. Ethereum is down 0.85% at 3507. Good morning. Okay, so one thing I forgot about on the video was to talk about this week's economic data. So let's go over it. Today, we don't have anything major. Tomorrow, we have existing home sales and Richmond Manufacturing Index. On Wednesday, we have a PMI, purchasing manager survey, basically, for manufacturing and services. Flash meaning this is their initial report. Final means that there's any kind of changes to that report. New home sales at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Advanced GDP quarter over quarter on Thursday. Unemployment claims. We have G20 meetings and core PCE index. That is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. But I think we can kind of move on from CPI and inflation and stuff like that for the simple fact that we already know that they're going to cut some rates. The question being in September and how much, or do we get one in July? So until that happens, I'm not going to put too much emphasis on the core PCE and the inflation data. It's just not that important. So at this moment, anyways, this is not 2022. This is not 2023. It's a new year. We know that inflation has gone down. Great. Okay, let's go over NASDAQ futures together. They're up 1%, but again, guys, we're still below 20K. So again, I talked about that yesterday. 20K is where I would get, to the point of, okay, we can go long and we could target 20,252. That's your 20-day. But we're not there yet. Again, a nice move higher, but I'm still leaning to the short side. Why? At least for tech, because of the seasonality that we get the last 2 weeks of July. So at least NASDAQ is pushing up. It's a good sign, at least for now. But again, 20,000, if we break it, I'm in. I'm no problem going long. Obviously, not exactly when we break above 20,000, but I wouldn't mind buying the dip on some names if we can show that this is the lows of the trend that we have. Still below the 20-day. So again, still leaning short. Let's take a look at S&P futures. We're right near the 20-day at 5,600, 55.99. 55.33 is my level of support that I have. We'll see if we break it, but right now it is up this morning. The small cap summer continue. We need to break right here, right around 22.15 or so. If we go to the 4-hour chart, right around this trend line or this actual upside wedge. So we're looking to see if we can use this trend line here as our support, even though we got slightly below it. But let's see if we get a little more. I'll put 2220. I had an alert on IWM, but this is Russell. So 2220 is my alert there. Let's take a look at IWM. This is small caps. I have 219.60. That was pretty much the target that we had before. I went a little deeper on that last night. QQQ, I think we'll answer some questions here in a second, but I'm sure QQQ is on someone's mind, as it usually is. Bouncing, obviously, due to the NASDAQ futures bouncing. We're still below the 4-hour 200 MA, right around 41.87. It's a nice move. Not going to sit here and say it's not good, but we need to see if it sustains. So in terms of Qs, we need to get above 20,000 level. What level would that be in terms of the what do you call this? The Nasdaq futures. Well, I got to see exactly how it'll be in terms of both. I would say right around 482. 482 sounds about right. It's not one for one in terms of the numbers, but again, you're trying to find kind of that fine tooth level of where, levels of support are. If we're just going by the next level on Qs, it's the 20-day 487.18. So if you get above 482, 483, that would be kind of equivalent to the 20,000 NASDAQ futures level. So just want to give everyone the heads up. Got a couple trades open. Let's take a look at Palantir this morning. It is up. Again, we are still expecting a move higher. We will break 30 eventually. And the main objective is this gap fill right here at 31.38. So again, we're still on track for that. Nice breakout. Let's see if we can get it today. It's for August expiry anyways. Take a look at Mara. Bitcoin is up. Mara's up. Again, we still have that 1 hour bull flag. You got your flagpole, you got your flag, and your breakout. 2581 is my expectation to break today. And then we should be able to snag Mara and Palantir today. Let's take a look at Robinhood. I also have that open. That's down this morning, unfortunately, but it's still within trend. You can see again that triangle, and you still have this trend line here. That's still going. So still solid. Not really too concerned on Robinhood quite yet. The one that I was a little bit concerned about was Upstart. And Upstart is up this morning. So that's a really good sign. We're at 28.41 from the 27.79 level. If we go to the daily, you can see we were right at the 200-day. That was concerning. This was support, 29.68, but it held, at least for now. Let's see if we can recapture 29.68. But also, take a look at the weekly. Right near the 50-week moving average. It looks like it's recapturing it right above it. So let's see if we can use that. I know we got in and we pulled back immediately, but let's see if we can get Upstart to right a little higher. Maybe we can get interest rates to fall a little more, and that should be a boon for it. All right. Good morning. Let's answer some questions. Let's talk about Snap. Yeah, that was an L for me. I had to close that. We'll go to the daily, and you could see the inverse head and shoulders. But again, this was my support right around 15 to 1481. It's below it. It's bouncing slightly. The only really concern I have is this gap here at 1156. I'll see if it does break. I'll use 1391 as my next support, but I'm not going to trade Snap. I thought it would hold this inverse head and shoulders. You have your neckline here, shoulder line, but never got that move higher, unfortunately. Let's take a look at SPY. I have 55105. It's back above it, so that's a good sign. Your next target is 561.55. But the only concern is NASDAQ. Again, SPY is very heavily weighted with tech. So you would need NASDAQ to go higher. And again, we need to get to 20K. If we can get above 20K, then SPY definitely will get to 561.48 if we break above. ANF. ANF is up this morning. 164. Yep. Got a level of resistance here at 166.53. Again, just doing the technicals here. This is Abercrombie & Fitch. So that's your 200 MA on the 4 hour. Get above that. Maybe the 180s are in play. I just don't know their volume. Does Biden's dropout affect any part of the market? Not really. If he resigned, that's one thing, but he just dropped out of the race. So he's still president. Doesn't really change anything in that terms of, yes, market is up. Absolutely. But we can use market is up for any excuse. I mean, is the market is up because Biden's running, or is the market up because Harris is running? Is the market up because Trump is going to win, or is the market up because Harris is going to win? So you can pick your perspective and have fun. I say price action rules all. That's all the thing we can focus on right now is we got earnings coming. Very, very important. And we got a Federal Reserve coming in about 2 weeks. So that's going to be important. To me, that's right in the forefront. Again, the presidential election is November. As we get closer to it, sure, we can have that conversation about policies and how it will affect the market. No problem. But as of right now, there's so many moving pieces. So we'll just have to sit back and wait. Yes, there's tons of headlines. Yes, there's tons of articles and opinions and this and that and the other. But again, guys, we're not even in August yet. August, September, October, what, 4 months away? Maybe 3.5 months? It's like picking the winner of the Super Bowl at training camp. We ain't there yet, guys. Let's see what happens. Serve Robotics Company had a blast due to NVIDIA. Very nice. Crowd sell for now. Crowd is down. Obviously, it is below that trend line like we talked about. The question is, does it hold the 200 day? That's the level right there, 289.27. If that breaks, watch out below. So that's going to be your key level. If that does break, you have a gap to fill at 261. I'll keep an eye on the volume for y'all. Hood, yes, I just went over that this morning. And again, pulled back this morning, but again, it's still above the trend line. You could see it here. I'll just highlight it in green. And then we can use this as in yellow. And you can see it's still holding up that trend line. Nothing has really changed. And that triangle as well. Let's see. How's Amazon levels looking? Yeah, that didn't work out for me last week. It is bouncing off 183.50. That was my level of support. But you can see this upward wedge, and again, breakdown or upward triangle, whatever the hell you want to call it. But starting to bounce a little bit. If we get above 190, maybe. It was a tough one for me to trade. That didn't work out, even with Amazon Prime being the best ever. Just not enough price action for us to get that trade. So if we break above 189-ish, 190, yeah, we could target maybe 195. We'll see what we can get. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. That didn't work out for us last week either, unfortunately. But it is holding 116.18. If that breaks down, guys, 116.18, I want to short NVIDIA. And I definitely want to see if we can get to 100. Crossing my fingers because that's a really great discount. But obviously, everyone here is an NVIDIA shareholder for the most part. So let's hope it bounces. Stock's going higher. Everyone's happier. I'm all for it. Screw my puts or what I think in terms of shorting the stock market. Who cares? Let's just win together. I'd rather have that. Let's see. Went over NVIDIA. Anything else this morning? Okay. Looks like, NVIDIA's up. Again, we're still at 120.65. 123.05. Yes, I'd feel better about going long, but we ain't there yet, guys. We still have a little more to go. A nice bounce today. Very, very nice. But we still got to get to that 20,000 level. Until we break that, I can't say, oh, yeah, I'm bullish. I want to buy. Get me there. Prove to me that this is just a blip, NASDAQ. Don't prove to me that we're breaking down a new channel or we're breaking a new setup here or a new trend. It's got to prove to us. So let's see what we get. Have a great rest of your morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys on the server. And have a great rest of your morning. Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Thanks again, guys. Cheers all.